food you're heating it up in. This is just simple, basic scientific knowledge, like we're discovering the attributes of asbestos being the same as plastic, which we need as leaders to amplify. And then, of course, the media has the most critical responsibility to bring the public along, to know that plastic is actually dangerous, it's not clean, it's incredibly fatal to wildlife in the ocean. And we can do something about it if we reorganise the capital markets, and media can help drive that.
Great, thank you. Thanks for that, and please, we'll ask more questions if you're able to stay around longer. In the meantime, I wanted to hand the floor over to Mr. Sugimoto Ryoso from the Japanese Ministry of Environment. I was going to ask you a question, but I understand you also have a presentation, so would you like to show that first? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Ryuzo Sugimoto, the Director of the International Corporations from Ministry of the Environment, Japan. As a discussion happened, the circular economy and the climate change is quite important. Let me explain about my presentations. Can I see the presentation here? Actually, we have been a long history for the cooperation on the waste management, and then since 2018, we have a good collaboration with Indonesia about marine plastic litter issues since our oceans. The 2019, the G20s, we held the G20, the Osaka summit. At that moment, Osaka, we shared the Osaka Blue Ocean visions, which is also the reducing the additional pollution, plastic pollution to zero by 2050. This is quite important, and also the same idea of the climate change. We need to share the ambitions and also the kind of target as a political leaders level. At that time, our ministers and also the ministers through food had a discussion about our cooperations in Osaka. And then share the joint statement to enhance our cooperations. We have 3 pillars. First one is for waste management, cooperation on the waste to energy. This is how to reduce waste and also how to reduce the plastic waste to prevent the leakage of the plastic pollutions. And also the cooperation on the monitoring of the marine litters. All the time, the monitoring is the basis for effective countermeasures. So we support cooperation on the monitoring of the marine litter issues. And third one is, this is not actions bilaterally, but the regional actions. We have a cooperation within the ASEAN plus 3 countries. That's a joint statement by the 2 ministers. Slide, can you make a slide here? Sorry. Okay. This year, we have been sharing the progress of the marine these issues about in Indonesia-Japan Environmental Policy Dialogue. Among the CMMI and also Kyle Haka and our ministries, we have a high-level meeting for discussing the marine leaf plastics and waste to energy and water issues. And also the online seminar, kindly Mr. Leon also joined as a keynote speakers and hold seminars on the waste management, decarbonization technologies. Next slide, please. I think it's just scrolling to the next slide, I guess. Yes, this is Osaka. In Osaka, we have started cooperations between the 2 ministries. Yes, next slide, please. And yes, next, please. This is also the online. We held the online seminar and the business matching between the 2 countries' business sectors. Yes, this is the site. And Yes. Sorry, only the half of the face we can see. I'm so sorry. Next slide, please. Yes. Yes, that's happy. Yeah, that's fine. Next slide, please. And also we have this progress of the Japan-Indonesia joint monitoring project. In the joint pilot project, we see a lot of the finding from the monitoring, how we see the debris in around the sea of the Indonesia. And also we conduct a training course for the technical participants, also the officials in the CMMI and other institutions for this training. And we developed the manual on the monitoring to share and also to implement by their own. Next slide, please. For the waste to energy and waste management, we have 2 projects in Java. In Legok Nangka, this is also the upstream of the Citarum River, and the Bakasi, Kalawang, Karta regions waste treatment project is also prepared for waste energy. This project is not reducing the final the waste amount of the final disposal site, and also reducing the methane from the disposal site, but also preventing the leakage of the plastic waste. Next slide, please. And for the Citarum River wastewater issues, we have 3 pillars of corporations to enhance the capacity of the regulations. And the next one, to enhance the technical knowledge, we conduct a pilot study of the waste treatment technologies in the local textile industries. And for the cities or local governments capacity development, we have a collaboration between Bandan cities and also Kawasaki cities. So such kind of technical and also capacity development also quite important for implementation of such reductions. Next slide, please. Our cooperation is not limited to the bilateral, but to expand to the ASEAN regions. We are starting the national regional cooperations with ASEAN. Next slide, please. And also the CMMI, and we held a co-organized event, online event, to share the best practices from private sectors and also the national and local governments' experience. The result and also the shared input is stocked in the Regional Knowledge Center. Next slide, please. In the Regional Knowledge Center, which is also organized by the area Economic Research Institutes in Jakarta, they are also working with RC3S for capacity development. This is also the stock and share the best practices to expand the knowledge or experience to other regions to accelerate their actions. Next slide. Finally, I think the waste to energy or waste management is not only one single solutions. We need to get the practice, or we need to pilot more. This is one case of the pilot project in Japan, plastic recycle and decarbonizations. With the support of the chemical industries, they are also transforming the plastic waste to the hydrogens. And also this hydrogen is used in a hotel as a hydrogen fuel cell. Such kind of the synergy between the circular economy and also the decarbonization is also very important, and also we need to work together with Indonesia and not only the public side and also private sector as well. Thank you very much.
Great. Before you go, thank you for that. I know we're also going to hear a little bit more about West Java and the great partnership you have. But I'm you talked about ASEAN early on, and this is a great partnership you have with Indonesia. Indonesia clearly being a leader in the region. What can Japan and Indonesia do together to help ASEAN region to follow in this way and begin that transition to a circular economy?
Thank you. Actually, Indonesia is one of the leading country for combating the marine plastic litter issues. I think that with Indonesia, we need to share the progress of the marine plastic litter issues with us, other ASEANs, because other ASEAN countries doesn't have, some other ASEAN countries doesn't have even the national action plan yet. And also they don't have a specific implementation capacity of the waste management from the collection, treatment, and the proper disposal. So we are working together to enhance their capacity and also make a progress to make a more ambition. Yes, thank you.
Great. Well, thank you for that. And as we've already seen a preview of our next speaker, Mr. Governor, Pak Mohammed, I know you wanted also, I think, had some slides you wanted to present, because we're going to learn a little bit more about this partnership, I think, from Japan and the learnings of the Sichuan River and all the investment that's being made in the region. So without further ado, over to you, Pak.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, everybody. My name is Ridwan Kamil. I'm the governor of the most populous province in Indonesia. I have to manage 50 million people, including their waste. So I've been assigned by the president in 2018, my first year as a governor, to revitalize and clean up once called the dirtiest river in the world. Yeah, it's a very epic challenge. Within this assignment, we have also the task, the strategy to make sure we reduce a massive amount of plastic waste to the oceans. So by having this, I think we can achieve many goals. So this is before 2018. So many issues coming to the river because domestic waste, industrial waste, landslide because the change of what we call it, the land use in the area, lack of leadership during that time created a massive environmental issue. So, but as a leader, the most expensive thing coming from a leader is political will. So I up to the challenge. I organize the whole stakeholder in West Java. And after 3 years, now the river is having a much better water quality. Yeah, some old fish that used to disappear now becoming more and more seen on the river. This is, for example, we use so many stakeholders, including the army, because this is the way how we in Indonesia handle the issues, yeah, like handling COVID. So they have what we call non-war duties. So because there's no war, so we assign the army also to tackle country's problem, and we define this problem as a massive problem for everybody. Now, I think in 2018, the President Jokowi gave a very strong policy, assigned Pak Luhut. We have what we call presidential decree, asking Pak Luhut as a minister for maritime, and me as a regional leader to start the 7 years journey from the dirtiest to hopefully one of the cleanest river. Yeah. So I also, as a governor, issue 2 policies, asking the whole stakeholder to participate, and this is my daily routine. And the river is 18 kilometers long, almost 300 kilometers long, affecting 18 million. So my people is 50 million, so affected people by this river is more or less around 18 million. So domestic waste, including the plastic in it, we also created a solid waste water treatment with the help of Japanese government. Also, we have a program industrial waste monitoring also. We have 60 cases brought to justice because for environmental crime violation. Also, we to show the people that we are very serious, not only in educating but also using the law as a means to make sure the progress is really respected by everybody. We make lots of law enforcement for illegal occupation. We created a mangrove and also plans to plant almost 50 million trees. So hopefully by having these 50 million trees planted, then the river can become much cleaner. So this is what we call pentahelix, ABCGM, academic, business, community, government, and media. And the green means it's all achieved, but the orange means still work on progress. So I think the result 2020, our quality index, what we call it, low. In the first 2018, we call it as a heavily polluted quality of water, but now it's slightly polluted. And everybody happy, yeah. I have still 4 years to go, but I tell the president, Pak Jokowi, no need 7 years. I think by year 5, we could create a much better quality of water of Citarum. And now, after this, in 2 minutes, I will explain how our reducing plastic initiative in West Java. Yeah, as you can see, in West Java, plastic is considered just a regular waste. Yeah, so we started what we call the circular economy program in West Java. It's very important. Coba tampilkan PowerPoint-nya. Yeah. Next. In Indonesia, governor wearing more like military uniform. That's our local custom. So sorry, I'm not a general. I'm just a governor. Berikut. So to summarize the Citarum, after 3 years, we're doing okay. Yeah, it's no longer the dirtiest river in the world. I can argue and I can present it scientifically. And now we are focusing on the plastic waste issue. Yeah, berikut. So this is the province on the green. Before it was like this. Yeah, next. Berikut. This is the commitment from 3 institutions, the president, the minister, and also the governor. Berikut. And this is what we call the pentahelix, very, very effective. We are now copying to the whole Indonesia, yes, because of this pentahelix. So the issue of environment is no longer one institution responsibility, it's everybody's responsibility. Your city, your responsibility. Our country, our responsibility. Our ocean is our responsibility. So that's the slogan. Next. We have 12 programs, including the waste. Yeah, berikut. Next. So this is also a lesson learned that when we do things together in a more comprehensive and strong political will, then good result comes as a final vision. Berikut. So now we are 2020, lightly polluted. The target was only medium polluted, but because of good work and hard work of everybody, today we already achieved what we call lightly polluted. Berikut. Next. This is before, this is after. Yeah. Next. It's totally different. So, next. Before, after. Next. And the kids from the village now are swimming again. Berikut. Before, after. Okay, next to the plastic, please. So Now we're starting the journey. Hopefully, with your help, this audience, West Java could be the model. Yeah, could be the because in Indonesian politics, it's always wait and see attitude. So if West Java succeed, I can guarantee you the remaining region of Indonesia can follow. So we are now educating the whole industry, also the people, and also the financier, the banks, to start the journey of what we call it the circular economy. Next. West Java is the only province who owns the facility of recycling the plastic, the mineral water bottle back to the bottle. Yeah, it's 100%. Along the way, next, it creates a series of economy from the collector of the waste, from the people who separate the plastic waste. They got point also by application, through all the way to the factory. Berikut, next. And created what we call the final product of recycled butter from the PET. Yeah, and if you go to the corner store, you can buy option a fresh plastic bottle or a recycled plastic bottle. Yeah, so now we are educating that people do not afraid to buy from a mineral bottle label recycled. Berikut. Next. This is the application, one of the application called Octopus. So basically, the worker who part of this team used this application, got notification from household who want to be picked of the waste. Every time they pick 10 bottle, they get points. Yeah. At the end of the month, they get money, and the money is good compared to the minimum wage. This collector, I think, 1.5 times higher the income. So now, being the plastic collector, one of the new exciting jobs for locals in many cities in my country. Okay, berikut. Next. Because we import, this is the facilities, the only in the country in West Java. You see here, this is a bunch of plastic waste from Bali, not from West Java. Why from Bali? Bali has a capacity to collect the waste from ocean, but Bali doesn't have the facilities. So they transfer all the way from Bali to my province to be recycled back into the mineral water plastic. So my plea to the bankers, let's create more, not only one in West Java, but maybe one every province. We have 34 provinces in Indonesia, right? So I think it's a good challenge, it's a good business also helping. So 2 provinces from Sulawesi, Selatan, so Sulawesi and Bali, they are transporting to my province. I said, look, you're creating carbon footprint because it's a long way from Bali. But I said, Mr. Governor, we don't have facility in Bali. Okay, no problem. Until you have your own, my province will have another province to put the circular economy in action. Next. So in the local level, berikut, in the local level, we created a waste bank, of course, yeah. So the household, collected the plastic waste, and you go to the waste bank and you value your plastic waste into points. Again, at the end of the month, you get money to or substitute with some foods, for example, from plastic to food. Some program from plastic to gold. Yeah, so you earn the points, and in certain point you change your waste into the form of wealth. We call it gold. Yeah. Berikut, dah. So I think to conclude, this is also Pak Luhut, part of the strong supporter of this initiative in West Java. 50 million people, the biggest province in Indonesia. Once we have what we call the dirtiest river in the world. After 3 years, no longer, and we are very progressive when it comes to green economy. We are committed to reduce plastic waste to the oceans, and we are committed to sustainability economy also. Thank you, and this is the committee.
you. Thank you for that, Pak. I might ask you a quick follow-up, because clearly you're setting the example for the rest of Indonesia. Really great work that you're doing there in West Java. What are some best case scenarios or maybe lessons that we could pass on to Bali? What have you taken on board that you'd say, here's what we can do to help others within Indonesia?
Yes, I think what we have and what I have shown clearly a story that can be copied. Yeah, that's basically my message. And I said before, sometimes in Indonesian politics, when it comes to new innovation, they always wait. For example, I'm the only governor who used EV for my official vehicle. No other leaders do the same, but now they are buying electric vehicle and so on and so on. We are also building the wind turbine for electricity. We are building waste to energy with the Japanese government. We are building plastic to fuels with a UK company, for example. So I think all these initiatives can be seen, and I'm promoting also these two other leaders. Last January, I was elected as chairman for renewable energy regional leaders. So within my leadership, I have 150 regions and cities ready to go for greener, cleaner energy in the next 20 to 30 years. So I think it's very optimistic time. So I'm hoping from the financial side also see this opportunity. As you can see, one facility handling many plastic waste from other provinces is not enough. We need to build 20, 30 more facilities.
Great, thank you for that. And that's an excellent segue as well, I think, to Mr. Stefan. Thank you. Stefan, with KfW, there have been a lot of hints on the need for finance, funding, etc. From your perspective and KfW, what can we do to incentivize not just development banks, but actual investments into the circular economy, into the work of West Java, into Bali, into other provinces?
Yeah, thank you. Is it?
I think it's on.
Yeah. So first of all, I really wanted, it was so impressive. I want to congratulate you of what you have achieved in West Java. That was so impressive. And it shows, how important political leadership is, as well as to integrate all these different stakeholders, as you have shown in this Penta Helix, right? So it's really a complex thing, and that leads over to the financing issue. So I think one overarching theme here is that we have a lot of pilots, and KfW has financed one of the very first landfills also in Indonesia many years ago. So we started from a very low baseline, so to say. And for these first pilots, you need very concessional financing. That is not only a loan, but also grant money. And we it's our task to get this financing package together. But now the task is really to get this to scale, to get from a pilot to a critical mass. And this critical mass will bring costs down. This critical mass will also incentivize local entrepreneurs to produce certain components or machinery that is necessary that's yet not available on the Indonesian market. And then, with this critical mass, you will have also investors then getting interested in it, because then you have the scale. And then it's our task as development banks to sort of design a financing envelope to really finance the huge demand that is there. So this means combining different financiers. We have, for instance, we are working together with a French development bank, AFD, but also with other donors that give grants, like the Swiss, right? Or the EU Commission, for instance, or with multilateral banks, like with ADB. And then you can create a large financing envelope. And only in 15 minutes from now, we'll present the German Infrastructure Initiative, which is again a financing envelope to bring things to scale. So that is our task. And a new instrument also for coming to your question of how to incentivize investors, is offered by the EU Commission that it's a guarantee instrument to take some of the risk off the private investor to then kind of participate in joint ventures or in PPP projects. And then let me add one last point. I mean, this is in the respect of coming to scale, right? What is also important, I think, is supporting the Indonesian government in setting the right framework conditions, the right regulations. And I think the action plan is the national action plan to prevent marine litter is really a very bold, a very ambitious approach. And what we're doing now is, as development banks, that's the French AFD and in Germany, is to support the government with a policy-based loan, plus grants from the EU Commission, to design the respective framework and to finance the implementation of these regulations through that policy-based lending. So you have pilot projects financing, with high concessionality. You have, say, a larger financing framework to get things to scale, that is financing not only one landfill, but maybe 40, 50 of them in the country. And you have financing, so to say, the policy framework that is being set up by the Indonesian government.
Thank you. So it's not just multi-stakeholder, it's multi-dimensional. So you're getting that policy, regulatory, as well as the different elements of the partnerships. And again, I do want to recognize all the great work that you're doing, Governor, because you're clearly getting great investments from Japan, from development banks, Germany and France. And you did mention the poly, I already forgot what it's called, the hex. But basically what this design was, to me, is a multi-stakeholder platform, right? The pentahelixon. But it's bringing together all those stakeholders, which is what we're really setting out to do with the National Plastic Action Partnership, and you're already setting the stage. So I think there's a lot of examples that can be learned here. I know we also had an intervention or a question from somebody else in the room here. Andrew Bullen, did you want to say, I understand you had a question for the panel? Okay, we've got 4 minutes to wrap up fully today. So, but I'll give you a quick second because it's lovely to hear other questions.
First and foremost, thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you for this excellent event. Thank you for all the speakers. Wonderfully interesting. I have got questions to you, but maybe I think we're doing a project at the moment which coincides a lot with what we've been talking about, which is creating a circular economy. But economy is also to do with people, of course. And I think in order to create that economy, we've got to get people participating. Whether it's a helix or whatever, the participation is the most important thing. Whether it's in Java or Bali, we're working a lot with Bali, but we'd like, to create that economic base. That's important. Create the manufacturing facility. Well, what you find out is that each country is slightly different. If we're dealing this kind of plastic problem in the Mediterranean, maybe it's different in Indonesia. And that means the incentives for getting people to work in that are different. And one way we've looked at this, we thought initially is, besides just the plastic, what do we know about Indonesia? We thought amazing textiles. How can we use that? Because that's a lot to do with the identity of Indonesia. So we thought, okay, we detect the plastic, and we can now use things like artificial intelligence to find that, the fishing nets. And with that fishing net, we can now, the kind of processing which you're talking about in Java, which is very rare in Indonesia, which is to recycle fishing net plastic as well as PET plastic, to get the local population interested in that, not just by collecting. If I collect plastic, I give it away. What I can do, if I know that plastic will entrepreneurially give me something which I can develop to create entrepreneurialism and to create money. So we've developed a system where the fishermen, the local people, can collect the nets, collect the PET, have it, we hope, reprocessed locally, get it back to their villages in Sumatra, in Java, in Bali, where you have the most amazing people who can weave Indonesian textiles, which people will come and buy and create that economy. And it's difficult with fishing in plastic, but you can do it if you have the right technology. And just to finish then, we show you what can be done with what you've been collecting there, is that rather than just recycle it into beautiful Indonesian textile, which the local people can actually do and sell. And if you ask people over here, they're willing to implement this. And we've woven in various sort of health and things with it. This is the Healthy Planet Initiative, and I must say, it's a joy, just not economically, but also with the creativity. It's creativity of people which creates incentives and initiatives to work with their creativity and the creativity of the Indonesian people. And so we're looking forward to hopefully working with you in developing this kind of initiative. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And thank you. I think we're at the top of the hour, so we were ever so many minutes behind with a few technical glitches at the beginning, but thank you for your patience. Huge thanks to the participants for your presentations, for your insights, and actually for the tremendous progress being made in Indonesia, setting the stage for great leadership. And I thank all of you, and I wish you a very happy, healthy, successful conference. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Christine Hughes, for the great moderation. And please kindly stay on the stage for all the speakers and moderator too, because the Coordinating Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Investment would like to give you some token of appreciation. So if you please can gather in the center of the stage. And I would like to invite Ibu Nani Hendriarti. Ibu Nani Hendriarti, could you please can come up to the stage to hand over the token of appreciation. Yeah. So thank you very much for the audiences who are staying with us, both offline and online. And after this, we will begin the next event immediately. So please don't leave your seat yet, because we do have a very interesting announcement to make. Yeah. All right. So all the camera are ready. Yeah. For the first one, with Pak Ridwan Kamil. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Pak. And then the second one. Okay. And after this, we would like all of you to stay for final picture together. And yeah. Yeah, yes, for sure, but yeah, ladies in the center. Wonderful, that was great event. So please give big warm round of applause for our session today, and thank you very much. And next, don't go anywhere, because we still have like another short announcement to make before your lunch break. So please stay inside the pavilion. And for ladies and gentlemen who are still outside, I would like to invite you all to come inside, because we will begin our next event very shortly. This is very interesting one too. So our next event will be about announcement of Green Infrastructure Initiative, or GII. Moving some chairs and tables. So ladies and gentlemen who are still outside, please kindly come inside and join us for our next session. It will be very brief. Yes, sekarang Pak. This is a very interesting and important announcement event. So if you are still outside, please come inside and join us.
Ya, kenapa?